Hello everyone, today's book is called Someone's Diary. If you enjoy this audiobook series, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and maybe also leaving a like down below. With that being said, let's proceed. Someone's Diary, Volume 1. A letter treasured by Dong Dong from Chingsa village. It seems to be a letter from his father. Dear Dong Dong, time flies, doesn't it? It's been nearly 3 months since I left. Do you miss me? I do hope you're going to bed on time and not causing any trouble for Grandma and Grandpa. I'll be back from Inazuma very soon. And I promise, when I get back, I'll take you to see the crocs down at the harbor. I won't let you down this time. Dong Dong, do you remember the beach at Yangwang Shoal? Well, I went there, and I collected lots and lots of beautiful golden sand, more than I can carry by myself. When I'm back, we should buy up the local mill and make fresh tofu every single day. Although I'd rather use all this gold to buy a house in Liu Harbor, a huge house with a splendid sea view. I'll let you decide how to spend it when I'm back. How does that sound? Guess what? Just opposite of Lua Pool, at the Guili Plains, there's an enormous cliff. And what did I find there? A ruin guard. He was just sitting there, slumped over, completely still. He didn't flinch even in the thunder and lightning, not even when the rain was pelting down on him. Then I realized, he must be sleeping. So I climbed on top of him, threw my arms around that big old head of his, and twisted it as hard as I could. There was a clunking noise, followed by a loud boom, and suddenly his head fell off and rolled straight off the cliff. It smashed into a million pieces at the bottom. A shame, really. Otherwise, I would have brought it home as a trophy, and you could have had a proper close-up at what a ruin guard's head looks like. Imagine that! I also went to Juyun Karst. I must take you there when you're older. The scenery there is incredible. The billowing clouds look like an ocean. The waterfall is infinitely better than the one in Chingsa village, and you can sometimes catch a glimpse of the realm of the Adepti in the mountains. You can't begin to imagine how beautiful it was. And guess what? You're not gonna believe this, but I met an actual, real-life Adeptus. We sat and drank together, chatting and laughing away. The Adeptus gave me a gift too, a magic wine bottle. All you need to do is blow on it, and an infinite supply of wine will flow from the inside. You absolutely mustn't touch it though. Do you understand? You're way too young to drink. When you're older though, all my treasures will be yours to do as you please. My adventures in Liyue are coming to an end. It's time for me to head to the harbor, where I'll hop on the crocs and sail off to somewhere even farther away. I'm excited to see what wonderful sights and valuable treasures are waiting for me at the next stop, and I can't wait to share them all with you. Until then, Dong Dong, please make sure you go to bed on time every night, and don't eat too many sweets, they'll rot your teeth. Please also be nice to your grandma and grandpa. Seriously, don't do anything to make them mad. And no fighting. I'll be home soon. Lots of love, Daddy. Volume 2. A diary left behind by someone in the wilderness that tells of the owner's unfortunate encounters at Yangwang Shoal. Yaoguang Shoal. The fog is setting in again. The idea of panning for gold here has turned out to be a complete waste of time. I should have known not to trust this old mining crew. It must have been several decades since the last of them retired. Every last bit of information they gave me is completely out of date, utterly useless. This is turning into a complete farce. I would say I'll be going home empty-handed tonight. But the chances of me finding my way home at all in this fog are looking slim. I hope Dong Dong's eaten dinner. I can hear hilichurls somewhere in the distance. I have no idea where I'm going in this fog, so I'll suppose I'll just focus on walking away from the hilichurls' voices. Hopefully, I'll make it out alive. I don't know how long I've been walking, and in this fog, I don't even know if it's daytime or nighttime. Hang on, are those silhouettes I see up ahead? By the good grace of the Geo Lord, maybe I can join along with them and find a way out of here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Hooray! I'm saved. On closer inspection, the silhouettes didn't look like friendly characters. I've decided to set up a camp here and wait for them to leave before figuring out my next move. I might have to go back the way I came. Egods! I can hear hillagers all around me! I should definitely... End of diary content. Volume 3. A diary left behind by someone in the wilderness that tells of the owner's unfortunate encounters at Guili Plains. Guili Plains. What a string of bad luck. I finally made it out alive of that Hilichurl camp, only to end up nearly being killed by a ruin guard. I'd figured it was probably out of action given the way it was sat there completely motionless in the torrential rain, but then a bolt of lightning struck it right into the head. There was some whirring and grinding, and suddenly it was back to life. I was powerless to defend myself against it. It lifted me up like a baby bird and tossed me from the top of the cliff. Luckily, amidst my frantic scrambling, I managed to duck into a cave at the foot of the hill. It was out of his line of sight, so it gave up on trying to find me. If not for that cave, it'd have ripped me to shreds, thrown me to the ground, and then stomped me into... I don't even know what you'd call it by that point. Surely it must be well away from here by now. Even so, I can still hear the droning noises it made, like a swarm of bees buzzing around inside my head. I think I must have broken my arm, because it hurts when I put any pressure on it. I hope, that I will be able to manage though. In any case, at my age, I need to grin and bear it. I mean, what would Dong Dong and his mother think of me if I didn't? Volume 4. A diary left behind by someone in the wilderness that tells of the owner's adventures at Juyin Karst. Juyin Karst. Near the foot of the cliff, I ran into a herb gatherer who helped me set the bone. I almost passed out from the pain, but he did say that most passers-by he meets who have survived an encounter with a ruin guard tend to be less physically intact than I am. Every cloud has a silver lining, I guess. From above, Juyin Karst looks completely untouched by human activity. It's also shrouded in mist, and to add to the mystery, it's impossible to know just how deep the mist goes. Strange noises can be heard coming from the stone forest. Whether it's illuminated beasts or celestial beings in there, I don't know. All I know is it made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. With any luck, I should be able to pick up a quality chunk of amber here, or maybe some highly prized medicinal herbs. I know that back in the day many of poorer village folks made their fortunes and built their lives in Liyue by selling herbal medicine, and I see no reason why I couldn't do the same. It rained heavily in the evening, which meant the cliff face was too slippery to climb up. I also couldn't find my climbing rope or axe anywhere. It's strange. I'm not the type to lose things so easily. I'll bet one of the monsters lurking in the mountains pinched it when I wasn't looking. Maybe it was a fox. After several days of fruitless searching, I finally found some good medicinal herbs, so I'm getting ready to head back. I had wanted to do one final search, but this place is starting to creep me out. As soon as night falls, I keep thinking I see shadowy figures following me everywhere. Also, the blood-curdling cries of some unknown species of monster are now coming from all directions, and they're getting closer. During my descent down the mountain, I came across an old wine bottle. I gave it a rinse with some spring water, and found it's in good condition. I bet Dong Dong would like it if I gave it to him as a souvenir. I'll just tell him that it was a treasure given to me by an adeptus. Volume 5. a diary left behind by someone in Liyue that tells of the owner's adventures there. Liyue Harbor. I sold the herbs at Boo Boo Pharmacy, made back everything I've lost, plus a little extra. At this rate, I could buy a house in Liyue within the next few years, just in time for Dongdong to settle in before he starts school. If I'd studied harder when I was younger, I wouldn't have ended up getting involved with those scumbag treasure thieves. I also wouldn't have squandered the inheritance my father left me. This makes me think that I must get Dongdong a good teacher who makes him study hard. That's the only way he'll make reliable friends, and not end up like his wretched old man. So, for Dongdong's sake, I can't give up now. I have to go find a way to make a good living. That said, I couldn't get the idea of making a quick fortune out of my head, so I tried my luck at the Jade Mystery. I hadn't intended to spend any money at a place like that, but the boss, Shito, was very persuasive. He talked me into putting all my money into it. I didn't do too badly. I cut open the stone I bought and found it to be a higher quality jade. Then again, that one brief foray into the world of gambling on stones meant that I had to pawn the sickle and the medicine box I'd used for foraging the herbs. I'm penniless now. Sure, I got some good jade pieces from gambling on stones, but jade isn't easy to shift, so it looks like I am back in survival mode again. I think I'll head overseas and see how it goes. I should try joining the Crux fleet. Here's hoping Captain Beidou will take me on. I'll happily scrub the deck if it comes to it. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Thank you so much for listening to this audiobook today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you could give it a like down below. And also, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.